What happens when two magnets are brought close to a dynamo coil?
The magnetic force triggers an electromagnetic field that makes the dynamo spin very fast without any direct physical touch.
How is this large plastic barrel made?
The blue tubular plastic material is heated and blown inside a large iron mold until it forms a complete barrel ready for use.
Can a rusty rebar be turned smooth again?
Yes, with an automatic lathe machine. The outer layer of the iron is precisely trimmed until its surface becomes shiny and can be threaded.
How can hard iron be bent into beautiful decorations?
The iron is first heated until it glows red to soften it, then pressed using a special mold to form neat curved patterns.
How do you make highly precise wooden chess pieces?
A piece of wood is rotated on a CNC machine, and an automatic carving bit shapes it layer by layer, according to a digital design, until it becomes a perfect pawn.
Why is that thick liquid applied before the machine drills the iron hole?
That liquid is a special lubricant that helps the drill bit penetrate the iron smoothly while creating clean internal threads.
How does a CNC machine cut the surface of a very hard metal block?
The machine uses a high-speed rotating cutter that shaves off layers of metal, step by step, until the surface becomes smooth and precise.
What is the function of the big red fan mounted on that food cart?
The fan acts as a smoke extractor to prevent cooking, steam, and smoke from disturbing the vendor and customers around the cart.
How do you join the corners of this iron frame without rough weld marks?
The iron corners are joined using automatic laser technology that provides highly precise spot welds, making it strong while keeping the surface smooth.
How can a machine create a cavity and a large hole in the middle of an iron block?
The drill bit moves automatically, following a digital pattern to scrape the inside of the iron, turning a solid block into the desired mold shape.
Is it hard to bend those thick steel rods?
Not for this machine. It uses a rotating mechanism to bend multiple steel rebars into perfect square frames for construction.
Why is that intense flame being passed over the rusty steel rods?
It is a descaling process where the high heat causes the rust to expand and flake off, leaving the metal surface clean.
Back pockets and designs on jeans made so perfectly.
With automated sewing machines for the pockets and precision lasers to create the patterns.
How does a square block of wood turn into a smooth, round pole?
It goes through a wood rounding machine that shaves it down instantly.
fit a hard copper wire coil on an old alternator.
Place it in the middle of this machine, and a pair of steel serrated blades will cut through it with ease.
How does a factory slice large blocks of meat into perfect bacon strips?
An automatic slicing machine cuts through the meat block with incredible speed and uniform thickness.
How are large plastic buckets manufactured so quickly?
They are produced using an injection molding machine that instantly shapes liquid plastic into form.
How do you join two metal blocks perfectly at different angles?
By using a high-precision laser welding machine that melts and fuses the edges seamlessly.
Why is this massive crane dropping a heavy weight onto the ground?
It is performing dynamic compaction to strengthen the soil foundation before construction begins.
What is the best way to reshape a giant metal cylinder?
By spinning it on a heavy-duty lathe machine that shaves off the excess layer accurately.
How is that wooden block shaped so perfectly?
A high-speed rotating blade carves it into a smooth, round cylinder.
How are flexible silicone phone cases made in factories?
By pouring liquid silicone into a phone-shaped mold and pressing it under high heat to set.
What is this machine doing?
It is automatically sorting and channeling thousands of metal bolts.
What is the most efficient way to pack snacks into individual bags?
By using an automated vertical packaging machine that forms, fills, and seals each bag in seconds.
How do you pack a stack of thick pillows to save space during shipping?
Use a hydraulic press machine to deflate the pillows before slipping them into a plastic wrap.
How are these small stone beads made?
A specialized drill shapes and polishes them one by one into spheres.
How are thick iron chains linked together so strongly?
This machine automatically bends and hooks the metal pieces into a sturdy chain link.
How do you cleanly bend multiple long metal bars at once?
Insert them into this mold machine, then pull the lever to bend the bars instantly.
How do they make the curved edges of a car's wheel rim?
A metal spinning machine presses and rolls the metal into the perfect circular shape.
How is heavy industrial metal shaped while glowing red hot?
A high-pressure, hydraulic forge presses it into a mold with incredible force.
How is miles of steel wire produced so quickly?
Hot steel rods are extruded and coiled continuously through a high-speed cooling line.
How does a frozen ice cream bar get its smooth chocolate coating?
The bars are dipped into a pool of liquid chocolate and instantly cooled to create a crunchy shell.
How are these beautiful chocolate-topped cookies produced so uniformly?
Precision nozzles dispense the filling on a moving conveyor before they are drizzled with chocolate.
How are internal threads created inside a metal wheel or part?
A tapping tool rotates into the hole, cutting the metal to create a perfect spiral path for bolts.
How do you keep straw or animal feed preserved and clean outdoors?
The straw is tightly rolled, then automatically wrapped in airtight stretch film, using a specialized rotating machine.
How is a wooden spoon perfectly shaped?
A precision CNC milling machine carves the smooth curve of the spoon bowl in seconds.
Heavy wooden pallets moved and stacked so neatly.
An automated conveyor system seamlessly glides and stacks them in the factory.
Can a large log be cut into neat planks instantly?
Yes, this multi-blade industrial saw slices a whole log into even boards in just one pass.
Cut to the exact same length.
The craftsman uses a specialized table saw with a guide to slice multiple dowels quickly and evenly.
What makes a pencil tip incredibly sharp and precise?
A high-speed rotating cutter shaves the wood perfectly to reveal the sharp graphite lead.
A solid block of wood hollowed out into a smooth container.
A powerful drilling bit carves out successive overlapping circles to create the perfect inner cavity.
How can a straight pipe be bent neatly without breaking or denting?
The pipe is fed into a special forming machine that presses and folds it layer by layer to form a perfect angle.
Can large, thick plastic drums be crushed for recycling?
Of course, an industrial shredder machine with powerful steel gears can instantly crush it into small pieces with ease.
How do you make precise hinge holes on a metal sheet?
By using a press stamping machine that instantly punches and forms the hinge shape accurately in a single press.
How is your favorite noodle neatly packaged?
It is automatically sorted and cut precisely by an industrial machine.
How do they carve precise curves on thick wood stacks?
A high-speed router machine effortlessly cuts through the layers following a perfect template.
How is a heavy-duty rubber air spring assembled?
A pneumatic press tightly seals the top cap onto the rubber layers in seconds.
How is a solid metal rod transformed into a complex threaded industrial part?
A high-precision CNC lathe carves, drills, and threads the metal with incredible speed and accuracy.
How are thousands of eggs cracked and separated in food factories every hour?
Automated cracking machines use mechanical arms to gently break shells and separate yolks from whites.
How does this machine make such detailed patterns?
It uses a high-speed rotating bit guided by a computer to carve intricate designs into the wood automatically.
Why does the road roller have a sharp disc on its side?
The disc acts as a cutter to create a clean, straight edge on the new asphalt for a perfect finish.
Why is there they're liquid spraying while cutting the metal.
That is a coolant used to prevent the tools and the metal from overheating during the high-pressure milling process.
How do factories cut aluminum heatsink fins so quickly?
By using a high-speed automatic cutting machine equipped with coolant to ensure precise and clean cuts.
How is this red plastic pitcher shaped and trimmed?
The pitcher is formed using the blow molding method with air pressure, and then the excess plastic on the edges is manually trimmed with a sharp knife.
What is the white foam placed on top of the metal mold for?
The foam is pressed with a hydraulic machine to be cut into a packaging protector that perfectly fits the shape of the metal product underneath.
How is a giant roll of toilet paper cut into smaller pieces?
A sharp, fast-moving band saw slices through the paper smoothly to create the perfect size.
How do factories cut out intricate paper patterns so quickly?
A specialized stamping machine cleanly punches out the shapes while a worker neatly stacks them.
What's the easiest way to tightly twist multiple wires together?
This small spinning tool cleanly twists the copper tips in just a second.
How do they make those colorful patterned shoe soles?
Small rubber pieces are arranged in a foot-shaped mold, pressed hot, and fused into a single sole.
What is the process for shaping these corrugated parts?
Workers layer the material inside a special mold and press it into shape.
How are glass bottles shaped so perfectly?
Molten glass is blown into a precise metal mold while the machine rotates it to ensure a smooth, uniform finish.
What happens to the glowing metal cylinder under the hydraulic press?
The intense pressure from the machine forces the superheated metal into a specific industrial part.
How do you cut a thick iron pipe neatly?
Use a rotary cutting machine for a smooth, precise slice.
Want to shape a blue metal plate in seconds?
Watch this heavy stamping press mold it instantly.
Why is this glowing wire spun into a coil?
Coiling hot steel wire helps in efficient cooling and easy transport.
Can a giant shredder crush empty gas tanks?
Yes, those powerful industrial teeth can chew through thick metal easily.
How do you thread a pants drawstring effortlessly?
This automated machine loops it through the waistband in seconds.
How do you practice catching a flying disc alone?
Use an automated launcher that shoots discs perfectly every time.
How is a block of wood transformed into a smooth bowl?
Watch this lathe machine shape and hollow it out instantly.
How do you securely attach a wooden handle to a heavy hammer?
A hydraulic press forces the handle in for a tight, unbreakable fit.
How are heavy-duty industrial springs formed?
This powerful bending machine shapes thick steel rods into perfect coils.
pack a thick blanket neatly?
Just roll it tightly into this cylinder machine, wrap it in plastic, and it's ready to go.
What's the secret behind a perfectly packed t-shirt?
From heat pressing the Cool Bear design, adding the tag, to folding it neatly with a cardboard template, precision is key.